Get Gutsy, episode number 162 on your responsibility is to the mission. Welcome to Get Gutsy. I'm your host, Jenny Fennig, and I am so excited to be on this journey with you. A cutting-edge show blending business and spirituality, Get Gutsy serves up a potent blend of stories, lessons, and tips to help you make a massive impact in the world through your soul's work and your inspired life. No more going it alone, no more excuses. The world needs more brave women saying yes to leadership. Are you with me? Good. Let's get gutsy now. Welcome to our Jam with Jenny edition of Get Gutsy. This is a new element to the show that we are bringing out where every Friday we are publishing this Jam with Jenny on the podcast. On Wednesday of every week on my Facebook page, which is called Jenny Fennig, I am connecting with my tribe, with you live. So if you want to come hang with me on Facebook, come on over to my Facebook page. It's called Jenny Fennig, and every Wednesday at 12:30 Eastern Time, 9:30 a.m. Pacific, I am talking to you about a topic that I know you are curious about, and I am there to serve you, take your questions, be with you, and really hang out together and go on this journey that we are all on into the next level of your sacred work. And then what we do is we publish the episodes right here on my podcast each Friday. So if you prefer simply tuning into the podcast and listening to the audio, we got you covered. So I wanted to plug you into what this style of connecting is all about. And thank you for being on this Get Gutsy journey with me. It has been extraordinary. We are continuing to go deeper yet higher and saying yes to the leader that you truly are here to be. So without further ado, I introduce you to this fantastic episode of Get Gutsy. It is time to jam with Jenny. Enjoy. Hey everyone. Put these in, right? Here we go. Hey everybody, Jenny here. Welcome. Let me get myself untwisted. Welcome to a Facebook Live with me. These are officially called Jam with Jenny. I have a lot of fun with them, and I'm excited to connect with you today. So everyone who's here, whether you're watching live or you're watching via replay, say hi in the comments. We also publish these Facebook Lives on my podcast, which is called Get Gutsy. So however you're tuning in, I'm glad that you're tuning in. I'm glad that you're here. Today we're going to be talking about a really mission critical concept, which is your responsibility is to the mission. That's why it's mission critical. Before we dive in, I tell you what that really means and why it matters to you. I'm going to give you a little preview. Who here is excited about Halloween? Who is excited about Halloween? I've always liked Halloween, and since becoming a mom, gosh, almost 9 years ago now, my oldest son will be 9 in January, I'm even more excited about Halloween because, kids totally get into it, and my daughter especially. I have 2 sons and a daughter. My oldest I have an 8 and a 6-year-old sons, and then I have a 3-year-old daughter, and my daughter Kate is like super, super into Halloween. And look at me. I won't put them on because that just requires more effort than I want to put into it. But float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. My wings, I'm going to be flying. And I've got quite a getup. I actually might wear my getup with this shirt now that I'm looking at it, a sparkle shirt. Anyway, just, being creative, thinking about all the fun I'm going to have dressing up for Halloween. What are you going to be for Halloween? Tell me. Tell me in the comments. I want to know what you're going to be for Halloween. Yeah, we're going to have a blaster. So let me stick my wings over there as we dive in here and talk about, here's my notes, the responsibility that you have. All right, so I want to hear from you. Definitely want to hear what you're going to be for Halloween, so you can tell me. And I also want to hear
what it is that you do. Like, what is your thing? What's your business? Who do you love to help? Like, what is your mission? Really, I think that's the best way to say it. Like, what's your mission? What's your mission? And just type it. Like, tell me. It doesn't have to be super polished. I really like these gatherings to be where we share and we connect. That's why I do them. It gives me a lot of fuel to continue on my journey. It gives me insight into like what it is that you're doing. All right. And I want to give a shout out to everyone. Sabrielle, Jess, Ivan, what's up? So tell me, what is your mission? Like, what is it that you're here to do from a larger scale? And our business is one piece of us fulfilling the mission. What we do in our personal lives, like with our family, with our community, with the way that we treat our bodies, with the way that we treat our homes, with the way that we treat the land and the earth and nature, it can all be wrapped up in this giant mission, right? And so I want to hear from you about your mission, because by you claiming it, by you sharing it, you really will step into what it means when I say your responsibility is to the mission. All right. And thanks, Ivan. I see your share. Your mission is to have your own business and help those in need. Okay, cool. And so, right. And I would have you take that a step further, Ivan, saying why do you want to have your own business? Like, what about having your own business is part of your mission? I know you want to help those in need. And so take it a step further. Like, we really want to tap into the feeling states, why this mission has chosen you, or you've chosen this mission, because it helps us be better decision makers in our business. And if you haven't figured it out right now, you are going to need to make a shitload of decisions every day in your business. The way your business will not grow is for you to make no decisions, or for a decision to be in front of you and you're not willing to make it. You're not willing to make it. And I'll give you some examples of that. Sabrielle, her mission to change the world through connecting community. Her purpose and passion is public speaking. Fantastic. Jess, empowering others to speak up and know their truth and to spread those good vibes to others. The ripple effect. Beautiful. And so everyone, keep the shares coming. Allow those who've already shared to inspire you to get out there and just go further, and to claim it, to claim it in the written form, to claim it through the spoken word. For me, my mission is to empower spirit-led rebels, mavericks, coaches, teachers, creatives to cash in on your calling. I know that you have an extraordinary gift. I know that nobody does the thing that you do exactly like you do it. And I also know that most people who I come into contact with are undercharging. They're undervaluing what they bring to the table. They are overcomplicating it. And I want to help you just burn that shit to the ground, basically. I just did a call yesterday with a few women in my community. They had won this call with me because they had helped promote our coaching school and sent several students our way. And so this was my way of saying thank you. In addition to, we send money to our affiliates for them spreading the word and, having people sign up based on their recommendation. We're so grateful for those who partner with us. And these particular women want to call with me. And so there was some coaching yesterday around, one of the women who just realized that she had been grossly undervaluing her services. And it was a problem. She was a single mom. And when she would do, calls, and she, is selling herself as a coach and positioning herself as a coach, when she's doing these calls, she's not with her kids. And she realized, hey, Clint, good to see you here, hon. And thank you. I know, I'm loving my shorter hair too. She was realizing that the time away from her kids and what is required to not be with her kids, and any of y'all who are parents here know what I'm talking about, it takes a tremendous amount of coordination for me to even be able to work. I ain't kidding. I homeschool my two boys. My youngest child is at nursery school. And so just that, the coordination of who's got who and where everybody is, and making sure that I have time for all the right things, for the high vibe, kind of high value activities in my business, that takes a tremendous amount of coordination and energy. And so for this particular client yesterday, she was realizing that what she was charging, as soon as she told me her rates, and I was like, okay, what are you charging? What do your packages look like? I saw it right away. I was like, okay, number one, you're raising your rates immediately, like today, now, and I'll help you do that. And number two, how are you designing this package, this container for transformation? And the first thing, she changed that immediately. And then she told me what she was going to change it to. And I was like, no, strip away that one element. We're going to kind of blend these two, because here's something y'all should know. And this is going to help you advance your mission, is a confused mind doesn't buy. A confused mind doesn't buy. So often when we give too many options, too many ideas to consider, 17 packages or all these things, the prospect who you really want to help and you know that you can help, they get overwhelmed because they already are overwhelmed in their life. And so when you come in and you give them all these different options, they just shut down and they're like, you know what? I don't even want to make a decision because I'm probably going to make the wrong one. Does that resonate with you? So we've got to do a better job as leaders and as business owners, entrepreneurs who are selling, coaching, transformation, teaching, community. We all sell whatever we're selling. And we've got to learn from those who are a few steps ahead. That's why people want to work with me. I'm a few steps ahead of them on the journey. And when you learn, then you implement and you make those changes and things start shifting. Things start shifting right away, but you have to be willing to make those decisions and implement. Okay. And so I knew I wanted to do this topic for a while, this whole idea of your responsibilities to the mission, because again, my mission is to help you fulfill yours and to really help you cash in on your calling through the vehicle of your business, and a business that allows you to design a lifestyle that is fulfilling on every level. And I want you to be able to have a business that supports your life, and that it's really designed around your life and not the other way around, which is so often what I came from in the corporate world, where, you went to work, it was traditional Monday through Friday, 9 to in my case, it was till late at night. And it didn't leave me much time for a life. And I knew that once I became, a wife, and then I did want to become a mother eventually, that scenario was just not going to work for me. And so I've fucking changed things. I've blown things up. I have found, I became a yoga teacher. Then that led me to the field of coaching. And now that's, where I've been for the past almost 10 years. And it's just been an extraordinary journey. And yet I see so many people who are a few steps behind me on the path, and they are overcomplicating things. They are undercharging. They aren't really, fully committed. They're not willing to, find the money, make things happen, because guess what, y'all? You need money to grow your business. You just do. You're not going to be able to grow your business on handouts and freebies forever. You just can't. They'll take you to a certain point, and then you've got to really step up, get brave, and make those investments. And so I have to do this too. Every single day, I'm making investments, I'm making decisions, and these investments and decisions involve team, they involve Facebook ads, they involve leading retreats, launching programs, signing up to be a part of somebody else's program, traveling to somebody's event, putting myself out there, investing in new photographs, and just really stretching and expanding in the quest to help more people. You see? And I see you here, Shayna. Great to see you here. Shayna is one of my newest clients in my mastermind, which is Glow, which I've been interviewing candidates for the last few weeks now, and it's just really exciting to see it all come together. So you have got to really know what your mission is, all right? And so for me, when it comes down to for instance, I am on the cusp of our next launch will be for my coaching school, all right? And newsflash, where I am in my business, my programs do not just fill because I want them to, all right? I wish I could report otherwise, but that's not true. for me and the type of business I'm building and the type of people I'm attracting. Okay. I attract, some entrepreneurs are earlier stage startup. And I will tell you that a lot of people in my position who've been in business for 10 years wouldn't touch early stage entrepreneurs or startup entrepreneurs with a 10-foot pole, because they'd be like, no, it's too fucking hard. And there's times when I go through that myself and I'm like, oh my gosh, they just need to see this. They just need to know what is required. And I feel like because there's just so much like free information on the internet, that there's a lot of entrepreneurs in those stages, right? Startup and early stage, that are like, no, I'm just going to consume free stuff. And, that's what I'm going to do. And I will tell you very, very clearly that would never have worked for me, ever. I would not still be here had I not made significant investments in my business, investments that scared the shit out of me consistently. And so what I come back to when I have these opportunities to invest, to make decisions, and even when I'm like, oh, this is a challenging decision I need to make about a team member or what I want to do in this particular instance, I come back to this idea of what is the mission I'm on, and how does this decision or this investment move the mission forward or take the mission backwards, and perhaps even bring an unhealthy amount of risk to the mission. Like maybe even the mission would die. I would need to abort the mission. Okay. And I speak in these terms. Some of you might know this about me, others of you don't. But when I was in middle school, it was between 6th and 7th grade, I went to space camp. I went to space camp. Anybody here ever go to space camp? I went to the space camp in Huntsville, Alabama, and it was amazing. There was also a space camp in Florida. I actually grew up in Florida, but we went to the one in Alabama. It seemed to be like a fancier one or something. It had like better housing because we lived on site there for a week. And it was extraordinary. It was such a cool experience. I didn't grow up going to like a bunch of camps. Like that was the coolest camp I ever went to. With the exception of cheerleading camp. Once I got into high school, I went to cheerleading camp, and that was really fun too. And that will tell you a lot about me. I went to space camp and cheerleading camp, and I talk about mission now, and I can be your greatest cheerleader. I can be your greatest cheerleader. And I can also be that person who's going to lovingly kick your ass and stretch you when you're wanting to shrink or go into the corner, or, not see the things that I can see. All right. And I can see for you and for your highest good. So when I went to space camp, we did lots of neat things there. And one of the things that we did was to be a part of 2 missions. All right. And you can imagine, like the space program, that's what each one of those launches were. They were missions. They weren't just space shuttle launches. They were missions. They were going on those missions to find out some things, right? To answer some questions, to explore a hypothesis, to go to the moon, to learn about what we're capable of as humans, and when we can understand how to work with technology and how to work with machines. And so I wanted to be the commander of the mission. We all had to campaign for like the position that we would fill on the mission. And I really wanted to be commander. Now, again, for those of you who know me deeply, that doesn't come as a surprise, because I say yes to leadership over and over and over again. I'm not afraid to be the first. I'm not afraid to be the one in charge. I say yes to leadership. And so I ask you today, are you saying yes to leadership, or are you just hoping that somebody else will take care of it? Somebody else will solve the problem. Somebody else will deal with the issue. Or are you ready to say, you know what? I'm raising my hand. I'm going to freaking deal. I want to hear from you. If you are ready to say yes to leadership on greater scales, then I want you to type that into the chat. I am here to lead. 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 Claim that shit. And so for me, I was like, I want to be commander. Luckily, my 2 girlfriends who I went with, they didn't want to be commander. They all had different positions that they were going to fill. And there was another guy in our group who wanted to be commander also. And we had to write essays. And our like group counselor, that you read all the essays, and he also made us memorize Walt Whitman, which was so awesome. Oh, Captain, my Captain. I can still remember lots of that poem. And I got selected as commander. The other kid got selected as pilot, and so it was cool. Like there was no like showdown, but I didn't back down. That this guy wanted to be pilot, commander. I was like, yeah, I do too. And so let's write about why we want to be commander. And I got selected. And as part of the mission, our job was to successfully fulfill the mission, to complete the mission, and that was about us, following the instructions, knowing what we were there to do, working together as a team. My kids just walked into my office. Hi, guys. And then when we would have these malfunctions, we were given a few malfunctions during the mission. We had to figure out how to move through the malfunction and not there's my guys. Yeah. Emojis. Can you guys send over some emojis, and then my boys are going to go upstairs and have their lunch? Yeah. Send over some emojis. Yeah, they're kind of saying that they won't leave until emojis come across the screen. So, if y'all want me to finish my story. Okay, they're super excited. Yeah, this is Sean and that's Luke, and they're both going to be robots for Halloween. Sean is making their costumes, and he's really excited about making costumes. Yeah, they're very excited. Okay, bye guys, have fun, love you. Yes, I work from home. I love working from home. I love being around my kids, and then sometimes I need alone time too. And I'm like, okay, guys, you got to leave. Anyway, back to the mission story. We were given 2 malfunctions in each mission. I think it was 2 or 3, and we had to figure out how to get through the malfunction. And so, what malfunctions are you experiencing right now? Maybe it's your cash flow is dicey. Maybe you are hitting up against a block where you need support in creating your programs and selling more of those programs. Perhaps you need to bring a team member on. Perhaps you need to create a community for you that can be supportive, because where you live and maybe even your family, they don't get it. They think you're nuts and you can't talk to them about what you're doing, and it makes you feel a bit lonely. Anybody identify with that? So you need to identify, you need to get clear on what your malfunctions are right now in the business. And sometimes in your life, like, hey, I need to exercise more. I need to, deepen my spiritual practice, or I need to be in nature, every day, like, because it's all connected. And the way that I work with my clients is not just I'm looking at your business, I'm looking at the entire picture. Like, I'm looking at the entire lens, 360-degree view. And I think that's what makes me unique as a coach. I'm not just like, if you come and you have this major personal thing going on, I'm not like, well, I can't talk about that. Let's just talk about your launch. Let's talk about this thing. Like, I don't roll like that at all. And so what you need to look at is, where are the malfunctions right now in your mission, in your business, and what's going on? Where are you stuck? Where are you coming up on blocks? And come back to this truth, because it is a truth. It has served me very, very well since the beginning. You have a responsibility to the mission, not to this person or that person or their feelings, or, oh my gosh, if I make that change, they're going to get really upset. And oh my God, I don't know if I can handle it. I don't know if they can handle it. I mean, y'all, I have gone through major transition in this last year alone, and I had to make some like big decisions, that some of which I sat on for years because I just didn't feel like doing it. You know what I'm talking about? You're just like, oh, I just want it to go away. But it won't go away, because that is your opportunity as a leader. That's why this path is so profound, absolutely profound, because it's just helping you, it's helping to shape you and chisel you into the ultimate you. The ultimate leader, the one who can handle anything that comes your way, okay? And so I ask you now, and you're welcome to share in the chat, and just claim it. I'm all about like the actions. And I, Jess, who's here, she was just with me at a retreat a few weeks ago. Shayna is about to do some deep, deep work with me in Glow. We'll be connected over this next 6-month cycle. I've got a few more people I'm connecting with about Glow. And if you are like, really wanting to connect with me and have my support, I encourage you to reach out. I am still interviewing candidates for Glow. I have a few more spots that I would love to fill with amazing women who are committed to this path and know that you can't do it alone, and you want an extraordinary container of growth to stand in to run these experiments and do the work. All right. Women like Shayna are in this. I recently secured as a client in Glow a CEO of a software company, and this woman is extraordinary. She has opened businesses on 3 different continents and grown virtual teams, and was heading up a company that grossed 7 figures annually. Like, and we have all different types of women. The key is that you're so committed to what you're here to do. You're so committed to your mission. You will do whatever it takes. And I go back to me, this whole idea of your responsibilities to the mission. Several years ago, it was in 2009, when my only child at that time, who's now my oldest of 3, my only child was 11 months old. No, 10 months old. 10 months old. And I wanted to go to a female entrepreneur conference. It was $1,500 for the ticket. Plus I needed to get my plane ticket and a place to stay because it was in Las Vegas and I was living in New York. And I sold my wedding dress to buy the ticket. I sold my wedding dress. Yeah. And I've been telling that story ever since, because it's so true for you to recognize what you will need to do. What you will need to do in order to grow this mission. It's not going to be the easiest road. It's not going to be like, I was just comfortable the whole time. I had somebody recently who was like, I'm just not going to be comfortable with that. I'm like, you think you're going to be comfortable on this quest? You're wrong. Why are you craving comfort? If that's what you need, then this road will not be for you. There's other things that can make you feel perhaps more comfortable when it comes to work, in terms of security and things like that. Like for my father, he never would have been able to be an entrepreneur. He worked for the government for like 40 years. This path would have freaked him out because he wouldn't have like his every 2-week paycheck and like the guaranteed health insurance and, the pension, all of that he has received. That doesn't happen in entrepreneurship. It's a totally different road, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. And so what I want you all to do is to crave courage, and know that when you are courageous, you will expand that comfort zone and you will do things that will astound you, absolutely astound you. And you need to be around others who are vibing on this energy, who believe in this, mindset, who believe in making moves that are in the highest good of your mission. And so I ask you now, what move do you need to make this week to move your mission forward? What help do you need? What conversations do you need to have with prospects, with clients, with perhaps family members who don't get what you're doing? What I've learned, because I have a lot of women, and it's like they need to go ask their husband's permission, those who are partnered with a man, okay, to go do something that they want to do to grow their mission. And often the husband, the partner, can't see it. They can't see it because they're not the visionary in the group. And the women go in with like a permission-seeking energy. And I simply don't advocate you doing that. You have got to believe in your mission. You've got to believe in the vision so much it hurts. And you've got to enroll people in your vision. You've got to enroll them in it. Let them know what's possible. Let them know where you're going. Let them know why you're putting all this energy in, why you're putting the hours in, why you're making these investments of money, of time, of just putting your butt on the line. You've got to enroll them in that vision. I had to do that with my husband back then in 2009 at that first entrepreneur conference when I said, hey, I'm going to apply for this mastermind. I never even heard of that thing before, but I'm going to do it. And he believed in me. He believed in what I wanted to do. And he knew that I was smart and could get what I needed from any kind of investment like that I would step forward into. And I've had to re-enroll him in that vision as my business has grown and evolved. And so just know you can't expect people to instantly be enrolled in your vision if you are, coming from a place of asking permission, coming from a place of doubting yourself. I know this work can bring up your stuff. I know you can get triggered. I know it can feel scary because it's like, where is this all going? What's the guaranteed payout? And there's not like a guaranteed financial payout that I can tell you. But what I can tell you is that the person you become along the way is the guaranteed payout. That person who can advocate for herself, that person who can say yes when the answer is yes, say no when the answer is no, dig deep, believe that what you see, you can create. Yes. And that has been the greatest blessing of my work, is that I am so happy with who I am as a person. Who I am today is very different than who I was when I was, in my cubicle in corporate America. I was doing really good work there, but I knew that wasn't the end game for me, and that wasn't the type of work that I was really put on this planet to do. And so I had to be willing to make changes. I had to be willing to take a massive pay cut straight out of the gate. I was a 6-figure earner in corporate, and I went from 6 figures to 0, and I had to claw my way back, right? Claw my way back and make massive mistakes and have huge learnings, and then to realize what my zone of genius is, and to stand firm, put my stake in the ground and say, this is what I'm here to do. I am damn good at it. And if you want my help, here's how you can get it. And I don't back down from that. I don't discount how awesome this work is, and I don't want you to discount how awesome your work is. And be confident. As Shayna says, certainty is contagious. Those connected to you will catch it. Absolutely. You've got to be certain that what you do is spectacular and powerful, and that you are certain that you're going to serve your clients to the best of your ability. With Shayna and those who are joining me in Glow, I know that I am bringing my A game to the work that we do together. I know that those who step forward are the right ones for the container, because they know how to make decisions. They trust in their gift. They trust in what I've created, and they trust that the women I'm bringing in will be women they can be connected to throughout Glow and beyond. And more importantly, they trust that their mission is to make these moves, to make these decisions, to help more people. That is the whole point of what we're doing. And so your responsibility is to the mission. I want you to dig deep right now and say, what move do you need to make? And go freaking make it. Go freaking make it. Go get that help that you need. Just today, I'm going to be hiring a team to support my next program launch. Again, I have a coaching school, and so I know what needs to be done to honor the mission, not only my mission, but the mission of my coaching school. My entities have their own missions. They have their own dreams and desires, and yours do too. If you have programs, you have creations, they have the thing that they're here to do, and you're here to be a steward of allowing your programs, your events, whatever it is that you're putting out, your offerings, you're here to allow your offerings to impact all those people that your offerings can. And if you are getting in the way of that work, then that's on you. That's on you. You've got to be that CEO. You've got to be that leader who takes a stand for what you are here to do. Got it? And so I'm going to drop in, our application deadline has passed for Glow, but I'm going to drop in the link to the application. If you feel called to apply, I will take a look and see if your application is the type of leader we're looking for in Glow. And if so, we will discuss next steps. We start on November 8th. My job now is filling our remaining spots, and I am just super pumped to, go on that quest and really embody what it is to make these decisions and to put myself out there and to be vulnerable and, to tell you that this isn't going to be the easiest road. And, I did that for somebody this week. As I said, they're like, the whole comfort thing. I was like, girl, you waiting for this to be comfortable? Let me just, with love, tell you, don't wait for that. No. And if you need that, this is not for you. this is not the road for you. Said with love, but gosh, that's who I am as a coach. I'm going to just be straight. I'm going to be straight. So I encourage you to be straight, speak truth. You can do it with kindness, but firmness. And we don't need to dance around the message that you're here to deliver to any person, any place, anytime. You dig? All right, everybody. Thanks so much for joining me. Your responsibility is to the mission. I would love to see you post in the chat what you're taking away from today. I'll loop back and check in with you. I love being able to do these live streams. It's a real fun way for me to connect with my tribe. And I will see you next week. All right. Talk to you then. Bye.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of Get Gutsy as much as I enjoyed creating it for you. Are you responsible for leading and growing your spiritual business? If so, I have a free tool for you that will help you spread your message like wildfire. It's called the Sacred Marketing Puzzle, and it's a one-page PDF guide that simplifies the often mysterious and confusing world of marketing. When you use sacred marketing tools to amplify your message, you'll provide huge value to your tribe and grow your business. What are you waiting for? Go to jennyfennig.com/puzzle to get yours instantly. That's jennyfennig.com/puzzle. Gutsy leaders, unite.